Okay, boys and girls, welcome back. Redmissed in the house once again. How you doing? Hope everyone's doing great. I'm doing great, and we, my friends, are playing some more Magic Legion. Now, I want to go ahead and very quickly show you something that I honestly believe in this game. So, what I mean by this is I want to show you exactly what I honestly believe you need in this game. So, I believe that what you need in this game is this right here. So, these two heroes here, and then anyone else of your pick. Preferably someone with damage, which, as you guys know, Arno is probably the most overpowered hero in the game. Then you need someone with tanky capabilities. So, for my personal opinion, the main two that I would pick would be the Shield of Doom or the Blood Axe Lord. If you don't have either of these, the next runner-up in terms of good tanky capabilities, in my opinion, would be the Source of Fear. They're the three tanks that you want. So in this occasion, we're going to go for the Shield of Doom for what I want to show you. Now, as I said before, for attack-wise, you want someone that can do a lot of damage. Now, in this case, as I just said, Arno is probably your number one pick because he has the biggest damage output in the whole entire game. If you don't have Arno, then personally I like one of these two. So either the the King Monkey, or the Magic Idol. The reason for this is because the Monkey King or the King Monkey has the knockdown effect on his skill number 2. He does a lot of damage. The Witch, again, she has a fair bit of damage, not nowhere near as much as the Monkey King, but she has that bonus stun effect spell on possibly 6 people, maybe even hitting the same target a couple of times. Now, if you don't have either of these, me personally, I would either take the Dragon Princess because of her freeze effect on the front row, or the Snow Ice Lord because his freeze effect on the back row. The only other person I would select would possibly be the Pumpkin Drake because of the fact that he makes the whole enemy team weaker. Could be a really good thing. But his AoE attack is really, really weak. It's only like 100 damage. So, because I don't want to go with too much crazy power, I'm actually going to pick the Blood Axe Lord because I don't want to show this under power of having Arno in your team. So, when you have that, you're going to have to set up your team as you want it. So, obviously, your tank is going to go in your front line. Your damage dealer is going to go in your back line. Now, in the instance of the War Mage and the Witch, the War Mage is your tank. So he goes in your front line, your Witch goes in the back line because she is the one that's going to be locking the enemy down. You don't want her to die first. Now, in terms of spells, I'm literally going to get rid of all of these spells because you only need these 5 spells. That is all you need. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to show you exactly what order you're going to need them in as well. So you want Purification first, 100%. That is always going to be your number 1 spell. Ward is going to be your number 2 spell, 100% all the time. So Curse is going to be your 3rd spell, 100% has to be in your team. Then you want the Elemental Heal, and you want Piggin. Now, your last 5 spells can be any spells that you want to pick, whether you want to go for AoE damage, so bring in like the Earthquake or the Volcano, and then single heavy hitting damage, so you can bring in, like, say, these ones, which are the main 10 spells that I play across the board near enough all the time. But I'm not going to show you these spells because we don't need them. So now we're going to do this. We're going to close that because, as I said, we don't need them. Now, if you have a better damage dealer than the Blood Axe Lord, so for example I have Arno, that is going to be the main key to being able to do things even easier. So with this aspect, your War Mage is going to be your tank in the front line, and so is, in this instance, the Shield of Doom. So we're going to have to make sure that they have the best possible gear. So in this case, legendary necklace is going to give the most HP, legendary gear is going to give like the best defense and physical stats. So now that your physical hero or your physical tank hero is kitted out with the best stuff, possibly you don't need this ring because the ring is a main source of attack. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the ring. Okay, the sword again is a main source of attack, so we might not need that. Let's remove that. Whereas all of these are defensive stats, so they need to go on your tank, right? So now we've got that done. Let's move over to our damage dealer. So let's put all of the best stuff on our damage dealer. In this case, I do have legendary stuff on the other side as well, so it don't matter. But the legendary ring and the legendary sword are going to go on the... Oh, sorry, the 5-star sword are going on the damage dealers. So now let's just put whatever's left over back onto the tank because he doesn't need damage. But as I have good stuff, you know what I mean. Now, same principle with the War Mage. He is your tank. So you need to make sure that he has the best possible stats for surviving. So the best possible necklace to give him the most amount of HP. Then the neck, chest and offhand so that he has the best magical and physical defense. The legendary weapon and the legendary ring doesn't matter, but hey, that's the way it is, right? So again, with the witch, just put what you can on the witch because she's in the back row. Doesn't really matter, except for one thing that you must do. This legendary staff and this legendary offhand have to be on your witch no matter what, because they are going to give her 100% bonus rage. Okay, that is the key to having the most successful witch in the game, right? Now when it comes to relics, what you want to do is again make sure your tank has the best relics he can possibly have. Make sure your second tank has the second best relics you have available. The third thing you need to do is make sure your damage dealer has the next lot of best relics you can have, and then your witch, because your witch isn't going to do damage. The relics on the witch is just survivability. So with the souls, you want to do the exact same thing. Make sure your main tank has the best possible souls. Make sure your war mage has the second best lot of souls. Your damage dealer is your third best lot of souls, and then your witch is your final and your lowest best set of souls. Because even though you want the witch to survive, you need the other heroes to survive more than her. So that is the key behind the success. Now, what I'm going to show you here really quickly is one thing. Like, obviously, one other question that people have been asking is about how to obviously get further in the map, because you need more diamonds while the event is going on. And this is why I'm very quickly making this video now, and I'm posting it now so that you guys can see this and possibly get further on, so that you can make as many diamonds as you possibly can before the before this egg smashing event disappears. So for example, we're going to go in and fight a boss, so the ancient droid. Now this could go horribly wrong because I don't have Arno in here, but I want to show you why these spells are your most important spells. So first off the bat, you want to go and cast the shield, because your shield is your winning skill. Now while the shield is activated, they cannot hit you with any damage. They cannot hit you with any negative spells. So you can't be knocked down, you can't be poisoned, you can't be frozen, you can't be stunned until this shield breaks. Now as you can see here, my heroes are just standing there taking the damage. I've not cast a single spell and I have already taken half of this off. Now that the shield has been broken, I can go and hit Purification. Now Purification is going to give me another 8 seconds of not being able to be negative affected, but now I can receive damage. So you want to go ahead and do an extra thing of going and hitting Curse. Now Curse, when it's upgraded, is going to make it so that the enemy has 90% less attack and physical damage. so they're going to take more damage and do less damage. Now, while this skill is activated, you want to hit piggin, because piggin is going to create even more damage. So the piggin effects will stack on top of the curse effects. And as you can see here, my heroes have just single-handedly won that. If I had Arno, I would have been able to do a lot quicker damage and finish them off a lot easier. So now that we've done that one, if I show you the same thing and I go into the Death Rift, now one thing that you have to make sure you do before I show you anything else, one thing that you have to do is go in to every single academy, every single library, and make sure that your spells are fully upgraded. Now these 5 spells are key, so go and make sure that you have fully upgraded Purification so that you get 8 seconds of non-harmful effects added to you. Go and make sure that you've upgraded Ward so that you get 2010% bonus damage. If you can go and get the bonus one that is in the Death Rift, then do it, because it's going to give you 6,000 bonus damage negating. Your curse needs to be at 90% and for 30 seconds. Your healing spell, again, if you can upgrade that from the Death Rift library, even better, because you're going to get 20% damage reduction from that as well. And your piggin is going to add 75% extra bonus damage. So if you add this and this together, the enemy team is taking 155 bonus % damage while they are a pig. Now, the other spells that you obviously need to do is coming into the Death Rift, you need to go into the library in here, and if you can buy this #1 spell, then that is going to give you an extra 4000% damage on your shield, which means that that one shield is going to negate 4000% damage, which is really going to help you out. So again, if we come over here into the final boss, we're going to fight the Shield of Doom now. Now obviously these bosses are moving on further on through the map, so they're a little bit harder, but something that this boss does is he hits the ice ring at the very beginning, so you want to make it so that you hit the purification spell first, just so that you can't be frozen in case the other stuff, like look at that, purification's run out and I've been frozen. So now I'm going to hit the shield, which is going to help me negate damage from this guy. So now that I've hit the shield, I want to make sure I hit curse so that he does less damage and therefore affects my shield less. One thing that you do need to remember with this though is because I have less damage and I don't have my other skills, I might not be able to beat the Shield of Doom, just because of the fact that you do need those extra spells to help keep him locked down and possibly obviously overpower him with higher damage heroes. Now you're gonna see here, like look at this, this is where things are gonna get complicated, because I don't have bonus skills. I don't have skills to really help my troops stay alive as such. I don't really have spells to help stop the guy from attacking me, but you can clearly see that he's not really doing too much damage to me because I have the right things in the right places. I have a super tanky tank in the front line. I have good survivability. Obviously, if you're a lot lower heroes, I wouldn't be able to show you the way that I'm showing you, but this is why I wanted to show you it the way that I am, because of the fact that my particular heroes have so much good survivability. If you add these simple 5 skills into your team, or into your deck, you set up your team the way that I have: 1 good tank, 1 good damage dealer, the War Mage and the Witch. You're going to have a really good chance of beating this guy. So as you can see here, like look at this, my frontline tank is almost dead. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit my healing spell. If you have this fully upgraded, you would see a big green ring right in front or right on the floor, which would mean you'll be taking 20% less damage. But if you look at the way that my tank is now healing himself up, the witch isn't occasionally coming in with that with that lockdown spell. And if you had 5 other spells in here which are going to be doing a ton of damage, so I don't know what you want to pick, but for the ones that I like to pick, Shadow Arrow, Fire Glob, you could go and have Vampire Touch, which is a really good damage dealing spell. Any really big damage dealing spells. So now that I've showed you this, you can see here that it's just going to be a bit of a time to obviously go and kill that guy, but I wanted to show you what the main skills are. So ones that I would recommend in terms of bringing as your other 5 spells is quite simple, because you need to look at damage, the way that damage is going to be dealt. So for example, I like this one here, Fire Glob, because it's 700% extra damage to a single target. Fantastic spell, okay? Then you've got Shadow Arrow, 630% extra bonus damage to a single target. Again, a great spell. Now, one spell that you'll get from the very beginning, which is Windblade, when it's upgraded, it does 500% damage. Again, a great spell to have. Those are 3 of the main spells that I bring when it comes to damage dealing. Now, I will normally bring the Volcano Eruption, and I would also normally bring the Earthquake, just because of the fact that they are AoE damage dealing skills. But if you don't want to bring damaged AoE skills, 2 spells that I would strongly recommend you bring, because they're probably some of the best damaging spells in the game, is from, I believe they're actually in the advanced arena. No, so they're actually in the grand arena. So the first one here would be the Vampire's Touch, because it does 450% damage to a single target, giving your hero 100% of the damage into your HP. Obviously, upgrading this spell will make it do more damage and will make it give your hero more HP. The second one would be this blade here, because it does for 825% damage. I think when this is actually fully upgraded, it does something like 11,000% damage. Really strong. The only other one would be the Ice Spear. Now, when the Ice Spear is leveled up, I think it does 400% damage, but it hits a couple of times. I think it does like 3 hits of all at like 300 or 400% damage. So effectively, you're hitting someone for like 900% damage. But I just wanted to go ahead and very quickly show you how I do things, because that is how I'm asked quite a lot about how I think about what I do. And also, you kind of need to make sure that you level everything up to be the right amount. So, for example, if you're fighting around the mid-tier of the table, I would strongly suggest that all of your gear has to be at least a level 100, and you need to be looking at purple gear. So if you don't have purple gear or better, then go back in time and just, for example, go to the Snowville and just fight the boss. Like, just repeatedly fight the boss, because you're going to get some better gear. You're possibly going to get some legendary gear. And not only that, but just by fighting the boss, for example, you're going to, if you fight in a team of 3, you're going to get 9 diamonds, which is really great. So, same sort of principle really in here, guys. Like, for example, if I just very quickly take this guy out of the team, and show you the difference. So if I go and put Arno back into the team, because he's obviously my damage dealer in terms of my heroes, and just very quickly go and fight this guy, just to see how well I can do. This could be an absolute annihilation, but if you do the right skills, like look at this, if I go and it's just going to play out on its own because it's a boss fight. But look at the difference. Purification is going to make it so that I can't be knocked down as and when I need to. Then the shield is going to come in. So obviously, if the witch can't lock this guy down, that shield is going to protect me. And and then Curse is just going to absolutely annihilate this guy. So it's really all about setting your spells up in the right positions. Like, obviously, if you're fighting a boss, I wouldn't go Purification and Shield. I would possibly go with Purification and then a damage dealing spell, or even set it up so that you've got Purification, Curse, Piggin. Because if you make sure that the Curse spell is cast before Piggin, then it makes those spells stack. So you'll receive 90% from your Curse and then 75% from your Pig, i.e. 150% extra bonus on that hero while they're a pig. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you that, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace on the streets.